Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the lighting. I know it looks bad, but we're gonna roll with it. I need to get this video out. So, um, hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing 90 Day Fiancé Season 8, Episode 15 called Love Me or Leave Me. This is like the episode before the season finale, I believe. I think episode 16 is the season finale. So, I have done other videos which will be on my channel. I created a 90-day playlist which will be down in the description below, I think. And yeah, I have recapped other episodes for this season, so be sure to check them out. And thank you for watching, and keep watching as I discuss this episode. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Jovi and Yara. So in this episode, they are on their way to Vegas, and if you remember in the previous episode, um, Yara had invited like Jovi's mom because she realized that was the right thing to do. So Jovi took that as I guess an invitation to now invite his friends. So Yara's a little pissed about that. Remember in the beginning she had wanted it to just be her and Jovi, and now it's like a whole bunch of other people are coming. I don't know why I'm blinking so much. Anyway, so they are on the way to Vegas in the car with his friends, and she is pretty much not talking to him at all, not acknowledging his presence at all. And Jovi reveals that he has nothing planned. He doesn't have the rings, the marriage license, or a suit. And Yara is constantly saying that she wants to go home, like in the confessionals. And I'm wondering, and maybe other people are wondering too, if she wasn't pregnant, would she have gone home by now? Like, would his behavior up to this point would that have been like the defining factor for her and she would have gone home by now? I'm sure we're all wondering it. I feel like she would have. I feel like she would have. What else happens with Jovi and Yara? Um, so then they get to the hotel, and his friends are like, oh, there's a bar there, let's freshen up and then we'll get together. So Yara chooses this opportunity to kind of sit down with Jovi and be like, hey, I don't like the way things are going. And I am wondering why Jovi acted surprised when she mentioned this. He's like, I didn't know any of this is going on. You're not happy? And I'm like, has she acted happy up to this point? I mean, it's like y'all have been having the same conversation pretty much every single day. She's saying she's not happy with your behavior, and you continue. So why would you think that, I guess because she's not bringing it up and addressing it that day, that, she's okay with it? I don't understand Jovi at all. It's like the same conversation has been happening at different sects. It was your engagement party, after your engagement party. It was at the bachelorette party. It was when you came back from work and you were drinking. Like the same conversation is happening, and you're surprised that she's like on the fence about marrying you. Come on now. Anyway, and to her point, she said, I need to be your priority. She's like, I don't feel like your priority. I feel like you want to do all these other things that you did before I came here, and that isn't going to cut it anymore. I need to be number one, not your friends, not drinking. I need to be number one. And I think it clicked for him, but who knows? It's Jovi. Like, he says that he understands, and then he goes back and does the same thing. So who really knows at this point? So the next people, Mike and Natalie. I mean, what's there to say? Mike called off the wedding. Natalie is distraught. How could she not be? She is, going to be an illegal, as she keeps saying, in a couple of days. So why wouldn't she be distraught about the situation? This is all happening around April 2020. So if you remember, Washington was hit like first, and then it kind of spread to everything else. So she, rightly so, is very afraid about flying out of Washington. Now she has to fly to France, and she has to find her way home because the Ukraine had closed its borders. So she is really, she has nothing at this point. Um, and so she goes to hug Uncle Bo, you know, sweet Uncle Bo, and she says, you know, Uncle Bo says, "Oh, I hope we can keep in touch." And she's like, "That's not happening." And I think he was surprised that she said that because they had apparently grown semi close. And for her to just be like, "That's not happening," I think that was a real shocker for him. Um, do you agree with her sentiment though? Like, she wants to cut everyone out, but do you agree that she can't keep in touch with Michael's family? Do you agree with her delivery to Uncle Bo? Maybe that's what I'm wondering. I don't know. I felt it was a little bit harsh. Um and I actually asked, did she still have the ring? I saw like a glimmer of a ring, and okay, and I'm back. So I saw like a glimmer of a ring, and I'm wondering, is she going to give the ring back? And here are my thoughts on the whole situation. Michael was on the fence before she even came. We saw the video of when she's like, "Oh, my visa got approved. I can come, you know, on this date." And he's in the car and he's just like, "Okay." Like, he has that face, you know? So he was on the fence before he came. And then that's why I was so surprised that, like, 10 days before the wedding, he's like, "Okay, now we can get married." What was that switch? You up until 60 days, 70 days, 80 days, you're like, "No, no, no." But, you know, that 80th day, you're like, "Yeah, we can do this." Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would, you're not getting the ring back, but you know what? That's okay. Oh, and then I see later on, I had wrote at the beginning, did she still have the ring? And then I wrote at the end, he wants her ring back. He wants the ring back. And she's like, "No, this is mine. I'm not giving the ring back. This is mine." Do you agree that she should? I would have kept the ring. But do you agree that she should give the ring back or not? I mean, he broke her heart. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Okay. Okay, so next we have Brandon and Julia. And has your opinions of Father Ron and Betty changed? I know towards the beginning they were being painted as like overbearing and not, you know, giving their son the sense of freedom that he needed. But do you feel like your opinion of them have changed? I definitely see a different side to them. I don't know if it was editing that kind of made them seem overbearing, but they seem like caring parents. Like, they want Brandon and Julia to get married. I put they have calmed down. I guess is the nicest way to put it. Um, but yeah, because of quarantine and stuff, Betty was over there cutting Ron's hair without her glasses on. Y'all, that's not smart. I would never put a pair of scissors to someone's head because I'm not coordinated like that. I cut my own hair because it's curly and you can't exactly tell where I've messed up, and I just do a little bit of trim, but I would never cut someone else's hair. Okay, so because of quarantine also, Brandon and Julia decide, or Father Ron and Betty kind of throw out the idea of, should we move up the wedding? You know, we really don't know what Corona is gonna do. It doesn't look like it's letting up right now. We can kind of just do something intimate and small. And they actually agree. And here Brandon thought, "Oh, so instead of a month, we have like 2 weeks." And she's like, "No, you have like 3 days to get married." And if you remember, I think it was last episode or something, he was like on the fence about marrying her, and now you definitely have to get married. Um, yeah. And all I have to say about them is they really need to work on their communication. I don't know if it's because a camera is stuck in your face and you're having to have these conversations, but it just seemed like they had things to work out, and it doesn't seem like they know how to communicate that. It's just things always go, not always, but most of the time it goes from like 0 to 100. Like there's no in between. They can't each state their point without the other like just taking it to the extreme, you know? Like somebody makes a point and then someone just flips. It's like that's not how communication goes. You should be able to hear the other person out before flipping out. But you know, yeah. They have a wedding to plan in not that big of time. I'm rooting for them though. Definitely am. Okay, next couple. Harrison and Stephanie. As you know, Ryan is long gone for a few episodes now, and now it's the Harris and Stephanie show. And she is loving every bit of it. She is loving having Harris there. She's like, I should have picked Harris from the beginning. He's the one that I want now. Ryan, who visa people, I need to make amendments to my original proposal because that's not who I want. I actually want his cousin. That's what she's thinking. Um, yeah, so Harris decides to climb a tree for her, and she thinks that it is the most romantic thing. He climbed up a tree, which it is difficult. Not everyone can climb up climb up a coconut tree. Um, it is not the easiest thing, but yeah, he climbed up a coconut tree, and she thinks that like he's the bee's knees now. You know, romance. It's the romance. Now, would I be opposed to someone climbing up a coconut tree and getting me a fresh coconut for coconut water? Absolutely not. You know, climb away. Yeah. And yeah, they started talking about intimate details and her facial expressions. Anyone else like a little bit weary of her facial expressions? It's a little bit wearisome. And I know I'm not the only. I've seen the comments like on Instagram, 90 Day Fiancé's Instagram. Anytime they put things up with her, people are saying some things. I'm not going to repeat it, but it is a little concerning. Her facial expressions are definitely a little bit concerning. Um, so they kind of have a chat about him and the mother of his children, and she's kind of wondering like, what's the status of y'all's relationship? Are y'all still together? You're not. He is adamant that they have both moved on. Nothing is going on. She brings up a picture of him and the mother of his children, because his birthday was recently, and I guess they were hanging out, and she's like, that looks like someone who is loved up. It definitely did. But people can be amicable and get together. Now, it was his birthday, not the children's birthday, and it was just a couple weeks ago, so that might be a little bit suspect because, I mean, they weren't like overly hugging or kissing or anything. They were just like, they were side hugging pretty much, you know? But I think the wheels are turning in her head like, is this really what it seems? And it would be in everyone else's head, and I think most people would have stopped it by now, but Stephanie's gonna keep going. So we come to the end because his trip has ended. He has to go back to work. Y'all, she gave the watch that she brought for Ryan to Harris. You heard that right. Let me repeat it. The nice watch that she brought for Ryan, she gave to Harris. If that isn't the biggest FU, I don't know what is, because what's going to happen, I can see it now. Harris is going to walk into, you know, the family reunion, family barbecue, family get together with the watch. And Ryan's going to be like, that watch looks familiar. And he's going to be like, I don't know what you mean. Do you need to know what time it is? 'Cause That's what she's gonna say. That's what he's gonna say. He's gonna be like, Stephanie, are you jealous? Yeah, I know I look good in it. You messed up. I'm the captain now. I don't know why. I don't know why I always think of that phrase like in this situation. He did say something similar. He didn't say I'm the captain though. He said something. Oh, he said it's my turn now. That's what he said. Okay. So he's leaving and Stephanie goes, like he has a trash bag full of stuff. And Stephanie goes to give him like a $100 bill out of her like money looking purse. The purse was really cute. And so she hands him the money and he goes, oh, this looks fake. Are you sure this is real? Listen, Stephanie took time to explain to him that it was real. I would have snatched the money back. What you're not about to do is accuse me of having fake money. He's like, I've never seen a $100 bill like this before. I would have snatched that. So get out. That's what I would have said. But yeah. She's even like, oh, I put some food in your shorts for your tummy. They're like parting. It was just a cringe from start to finish. It was the watch, it was the food in the pockets for the tummy, it was the fake money. And did she give, you know how at the beginning she's like, oh, I bought bandanas for Ryan because I like the way his hair looks when he's, did she give Harris those bandanas too? Like she gave everything for Ryan, she just parted it to Harris. And you cannot tell me that Ryan isn't going to see Harris wearing these things. I mean, I feel like Ryan, when he left, he would have known that this was going to happen. There's no way he didn't know that Stephanie would reach out to Harris. There's no way. Anyway, that's the end of them, y'all. He has gone back. We shall see what happens next. I don't think it's going to be that easy to amend a 90-day fiance visa and be like, oh, I don't need that person anymore. I have another person, his cousin. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine that it's going to be a smooth process. But then you think of Rebecca and Ziad because this is like her second time going through the process. You know, Stephanie's has not even been approved that we know of. So, yeah, should be interesting for sure. What do you think of them as a couple? Leave your thoughts down below. Next. Okay, next up we have Rebecca and Ziad. And they are... Hold up. Yeah, next we have Rebecca and Ziad. So, Ziad has an outfit for the wedding, which I think Rebecca is not pleased about his options. You can tell Ziad has a different swag. You know, he's just different. He is not going to dress like a typical person, and I'm sure Rebecca already knows that. I know it's your wedding, but you tend to like stay within the realm. You know, if your style is bohemian, you're probably gonna do something bohemian for your wedding. You know, like Ziad has always been Ziad. He's not gonna change for his wedding day. You know what I'm saying? So he decides to tell his sister, finally, that they are getting married. And his sister is not excited. She's like, are you sure? Yada, yada, yada. But Ziad made a point. He said, you have your own life. Like, you have a family. It's time for me to live my life and have my own family. And I feel like that's the perfect way to sum it up. I mean, yes, people can have opinions about your partner and who you choose to live life with, but at the end of the day, you have to live your own life. Granted, it's easier said than done. And when you do have the courage to finally say that out loud and live that way, then good for you. But you can't push your idea of the perfect person of your perfect person onto someone else. Like, you can't say, oh, for you I see, you know, XYZ, and you're like, what? I don't see that for myself, you know. And you you lived your life. Let him live his, you know. Let him have an opportunity to have what you have, happiness, you know. And that's all you can hope for. Don't force your, let him live his life, okay? You know, let him do what he wants. If marrying Rebecca is going to make him happy, let him be happy. And that seems to be what he's wanted from the beginning. He always says, I came here to marry Rebecca, to have a life with Rebecca. Let him do those things, okay? Keep it pushing. Okay. Anyway, so we see them at, well, we see Rebecca back at the cabin because they're getting married at the cabin where, like, they did the horse-drawn carriage thing. And Rebecca's like, I don't have a cake. I'm like, you could have gone to the grocery store and gotten a white cake and called it a day. You know what I'm saying? You could have had a cake. Grocery stores always have some cakes displayed for the taking. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Melanie is there. You remember Melanie? She's the one that dropped the ball about living in the apartment. I'm surprised she was there because I definitely would have said, keep it moving. You are not invited. Remember, she lost her ring. Her dress doesn't fit. She showed the dress. It's a halter. It's not currently in style, if you know what I'm saying. You know, it's not everyone's taste. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's pretty. I just haven't seen that style as of late. You know? Okay. But Melanie, surprisingly, is like the voice of reason. She's like, you've gone through all of this to get him here. He's here. You want to marry him. Are you gonna let these things deter you from getting married? No offense. I'm not a very superstitious person, but these things are not a good omen. You don't have a cake. I kind of agree with that. You know, I want my chocolate everything cake on my wedding day. You know what I'm saying? You have no ring. Your dress doesn't fit. These are not good circumstances. Hopefully she finds the ring. That, oh my gosh. Can you imagine, like, you have this beautiful proposal from the one that you're gonna marry, and then you lose the ring. Not to say he loses the ring, because I know we've seen those videos of, why would you do this, first of all? But those videos where people, like, go to a waterfall and decide, while we're in the water, I'm gonna propose to you, and, like, they drop the ring. Or, while we're in the ocean, I'm gonna propose to you and I lose the ring. I mean, the ocean, you might be able to get it back. If it's calm waters, Caribbean waters, that's where you can find that ring. You know? Or other places also has clear water, but I'm only saying the Caribbean because I've been to the Caribbean waters. Or they're like on a cliff and they, on the side of the mountain, they decide, this is where I'm gonna propose to you, and ring falls out. That, I believe, is okay-ish because the person proposing dropped it. You know what I'm saying? She lost it. Zied doesn't seem to care that much in all actuality. But she does. So, yeah, hopefully she finds it. It was a beautiful ring. He did a good job on that ring. Yeah, next episode, they're getting married. Okay. Couple Tariq and Hazel, they're getting married. Everyone's getting married, pretty much. I don't know why I need to say they're getting married. It's getting to the end of the 90 days, so you gotta walk down the aisle or keep it pushing. Okay, so they have 2 days to wed, and Hazel decides, I need to reveal to my parents who I really am. No more hiding, no more whatever. Obviously she's afraid because she knows what happened when her sister revealed that I think her sister revealed she was bisexual. I don't think her sister revealed she was a lesbian. Um, but when they say that her parents are really religious, once again they cut to that church scene of like, um, I guess her parents would be, if I'm thinking like Pentecostal, maybe. I'm not sure, but that's what I would. I don't know. No, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. I don't know what title or you know type of church, but they cut back to the church scene and Tariq's famous face of like. Anyway, so she decides to tell her parents and her brother because her brother was there. Um, it goes well with her father. Her mother, not so much. Her mother was not okay with it at all. Um, Her mother eventually like gave the phone away and was like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I mean, her mother wasn't outright like disgusted, I would say. Her mother was just like, I don't want to talk about this ever again. That's how her mom felt about it. Her dad was like, oh, I just want you to be happy, whatever floats your boat, good for you. I'm okay with it. Sure. But her mother was like, no. Um, yeah. And I think she kind of expected it to go that way to a degree. I think, no, she expected both of them to be on the same page. I don't think she expected her father to be like okay with it. But it's good that she has one person supporting her. And she has a bachelorette party, and let's just say she's very happy about it. Um, Tariq pulled through in a favorable way. Well, first of all, she didn't know it was Tariq. Remember the camera crew told her, and she was like, "What? He did this?" Um, but yeah, she was very excited about the situation. Very excited. She was not disappointed at all. At all. So yeah. And lastly, mm, 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 mm. Andrew and Amira. So, if you remember previous episode, it was like cut to Andrew on the couch with the dog, and he's like, Amira didn't get on the plane. That just reminded me of the Ross and Rachel. Did she get on the plane? I didn't get on the plane. Anyway, Amira did not get on the plane. So we kind of see from both sides what's happening. He's like, I'm surprised. I didn't know why she didn't get on the plane. I have no idea what happened. And they cut to Amira. And all I have to say is I am really glad that they showed the text messages of what was really happening. Like I said previously, when it comes to Andrew and Amira, it's always kind of like he said, she said situation. And I said it seemed like Andrew was always doing things like off camera that are making her say these things because she would say these things and we're like, but I'm not really getting that. Like he's not overtly saying that, but now we see he does a lot of things off camera. And basically Amira had a panic attack. They showed text messages. I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but it was just pretty much like, if you love me, get on the plane. It was just Andrew was Andrewing. He was being himself, and we got to see it pretty much. Um, yeah. She said she even reached out to her dad. Her dad was still there for her, even though he had told her, like, don't go. If you go, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Like, her dad was still there, and her dad basically told her, listen to your gut. And her dad told her, it's time to put you first. What do you want? Not what Andrew wants. And we've seen that as well, where she's like, Andrew wants this, Andrew wants that. And her dad was like, no, what do you want? And she was finally like, I can't go like feeling like this. Like this is, I can't in good conscience get on that plane. And she did not get on the plane. And I have to say, good for her. And she said, once she told Andrew she's not coming, basically all he said was, can you send the rings back? Can you send the ring back to me? And I think him reacting like that or responding like that kind of unfortunately confirmed to her that this was not going to work out. Because if I'm telling you I had an anxiety / panic attack and I couldn't get on the plane and, you know, I need to work through some things, and your first response is, well, this is over, send the rings back. That tells me you don't care. It's not, are you doing okay? Can I do anything to help you? What? No. Mm-mm. He has showed that he does not care, and I think that was the nail in the coffin, that he definitely does not care. And it unfortunately came, or maybe fortunately, it came at a critical time. You know, who's to say what would have happened when she landed, but she deserves better. That's all I have to say about that. She was obviously heartbroken about the situation, but there was nothing else to do. So, yeah, they are done. They are not making it down the aisle. She's not even coming to the US. So, yeah. Okay. How was episode 15 for you? Many couples are getting closer to the aisle. Some couples busted. What do you think? Were you surprised by any of the couples that broke up? Are you surprised that any couples are making it down the aisle? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, be sure to check out my other episodes. Thank you for watching. Bye.